A very good morning to our head of the department, CSE Cybersecurity, Dr. S.M. Udayasankar sir, esteemed faculty members, distinguished guests, and my dear friends. It's my immense pleasure and a great honor that I stand before you today to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. N. Sharan Kumar. Mr. Sharan Kumar is a distinguished senior offense security professional with over 13 years of experience in cybersecurity, specializing in penetration testing, red teaming, adversary emulation, enterprise vulnerability management, AI-driven security automation, and DevSecOps. He is currently serving as an IT officer, security risk and compliance at World Bank Group, where he leads enterprise vulnerability management and penetration testing program across multi-cloud environments while helping secure one of the world's critical financial institutions. Throughout his remarkable career, Mr. Sharan Kumar has held key positions at global recognized organizations including the World Bank Group, Cognizant, Tata Communication, and Information Security Governance Private Limited. In addition, he has an allied SIN and Red Team member recognized as among top 1% of security research worldwide, where he identifies critical vulnerabilities across financial, government, healthcare, and enterprise technology sectors. Mr. Sharan Kumar's contribution to the security community extends far beyond his professional responsibility. As the chapter lead of NULS Chennai, India's largest non-profit open security community. Today, sir, your presence today is a matter of great pride and privilege for our institution. We sincerely thank you for accepting our invitation despite your busy schedule. On behalf of our management, our HOD sir, the faculty members, and all my dear students, I extend a heartfelt gratitude and a warm welcome to you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for that warm welcome. And, first of all, I want to thank Shobhai sir for giving the opportunity to speak here. And I can see so much familiar pages. So just for your materials, you can take it from here itself. There are a few assessments here, and this is also will be interactive towards the session. Okay. So today's session is more about, like as I said, understanding modern cyber attacks, vulnerabilities, and risk assessment. So how many of them at least familiar with these terms? Can you please raise your hands? At least what is threat, vulnerabilities? Okay. So yeah, some of them still beginners, maybe not aware of that, right? So today we'll see from the basics, like what exactly is the terminology, like as I said, vulnerabilities, risk, and what other security languages we speak, right? So today, when you go out of this class, definitely you'll be knowing all those things, okay? And before that, we'll do some few icebreakers. So I want, if you have phones, please take it out and scan this display again. This is the same one. Okay. So yeah, you can scan this one. You will scan this one. Let me zoom it. Is it good enough? Okay. So I want you to answer in one word what comes to mind in your cyber attack. vulnerabilities, hacking, everyone, hacking. Vulnerabilities, yes, correct. Threat, phishing, unauthorized access, exploit, very good. Threat to sensitive data. Data loss, good. Weak security, very good. Yeah. Okay, most of them said hacking, data breaches, very good. That is what actually, yeah, cyber attack means, right? Yeah, that's good actually. Most of the people understand like what exactly is cyber attack. So yeah, so today we'll be seeing more about this cyber attacks. So what happened in the real time, in real world, what's the how the hackers are doing it. So those use cases and case study will be going through today. And of course, maybe many people would have not know like what exactly is. Different people are coming from different areas, right? Like to be another, I heard about that. But let me go very basics. Don't worry. If you have any doubts, just raise your hands and ask anytime. Okay? So I will help you. So this 2-hour sessions will be, as I said, more of like we'll be discussing on the real world cases. There are a lot of real world cases happening. When any device connected to the internet, it actually prone to the attack, right? Because we don't know. Let's say if TVs nowadays TV also connected to the internet, right? So it could be somebody hacker already would have compromised it. So we don't know, right? So whenever any device or system or any kind of thing connected to the internet, then it's actually prone to cyber attack. So we will see what are the different methodology they are using it, what are the different techniques they are using it, and what are the terminologies, and how they are doing it, and what they did it already. So those things we'll discuss today. Okay? So you'll be understanding all those things today, and more on real world, real use cases. So when it comes to cyber attack, right? In the global level, right now I have taken only the US as an example. So in the last year alone, there was a data breach which cost $10 million. The loss of data, I mean loss of the money, I'm saying. So not only that, because of this AI comes, right, the hacking time reduces. Because right now, how we are using the AI, right, for the productive purpose, for the, efficiently doing the job, same way the hackers also doing the same thing, efficiently doing their job, hacking into other system. So the time to attack and time to compromise the system becomes very short. So that means everybody in the organization is very at risk, right? Let's say you're going for a lunch for 30 minutes. In that 30 minutes, the organization is got compromised. Whatever the bigger the organization may be, so that is the average time they get for that. So apart from that, there are huge losses happening all over the world globally. So if you think what are the causes of these losses, the main causes is as somebody told, in the icebreaker somebody told, right? Unpatched or unpatched exploits or unpatched vulnerabilities. So that is the main cause. Don't worry if you don't know what is the term vulnerability, we will see, okay? So that is the main cause of many people, and also another cause is like eligibility. Like for example, if the people is not aware of like what they are clicking it, what they are visiting it, so there could be a phishing link, there could be a malicious malware. By clicking one click, you can able to compromise it, right? So those are some of the activity US faces. But when it comes to India, it's very surprising. You know what causes so much losses in India? It's not cyber attack. It's a cyber attack, but it's not exactly the compromise of any system or vulnerabilities or phishing. You know what is it? social engineering. Have you heard the term card pele 16-digit number? So if you see, surprisingly in India, we are not prone to that kind of attacks, vulnerability attacks, because more people are targeting the awareness or the social engineering, as you said, right? They don't know. They don't know about the digital things they are using it. Let's say if my father got a call and asking to submit some OTP, he obviously will do it, right? Because they are not aware of that, first of all. And similarly, there is one cases in last year. If you see digital arrest, have you heard about it? Digital arrest? Nobody, right? Because those hackers or scammers will not target you guys, because you are range of 18 to 20 or 18 to 20 to 30. Their focus, the scammers focus on more on after 50 or 50. So they have all the data which are not already compromised by somebody. So they take it, they target only those people because they are not aware of those latest trends, online, internet, social engineering, those things they don't know. So when they call and ask them, you have been arrested digitally, you want to talk to the CBI right now. So they will get scared, they will get panicked, right? And next thing what they will say, you have to pay the money and give the amount, then only we will release you. So that is how the scammers are doing and already did it. And you can see the data, right? Digital arrest cases in 2024 alone, it was like some lakh of cases in India. But after 2025, it got drastically came down. You know why? Sorry? Perfect. Awareness. There is always when you call somebody, you will get there is a lady speaking that don't give OTP, don't do this, do that. So it's irritating, but still, people get used to it. And also there are a lot of awareness when you are also getting a message, don't share your OTP to anybody. Whenever there is a call, don't attend it. We are not supposed to asking OTP or password. So those are awareness, initiated by the government. So that way, at least people have been getting some awareness and became the data is getting less. So that is very good, one way of doing it, right? And still there are a lot more scam happening. So scammers are coming up with different creative way of doing these scams. And apart from that, I want to mention two things. So have you heard this investment scams in India? So if you've seen, people ask you to, people will tell you, come, they will randomly message somebody in WhatsApp and ask you, I will give you 100 rupees. You have to put some review. Or I have a scheme where you give 20% of interest, 20% of extra interest. So once you invest like 1 lakh, you will get 1,20,000. So those kind of scammers are right now booming through Telegram. So that is one of the cases. So yeah, likewise in India there are many scammers rather than the hackers. So next. So today's what we will be seeing is, as I said, three things. First of all, you will understand the security language, what the security people speak. For example, what is threat? What is threat? Vulnerability. You might have heard already, but you don't know exact what concept or what idea is like, where they use it. We don't know, right? So today we'll see from the basics. So today, don't worry, it's all, maybe it could be confusing after the second point, but don't worry, it's very easy. So the second one is, so the modern, as I said, threat landscape. So nowadays, there are a lot of techniques that hackers are using to get into this system, right? One is the ransomware, social engineering, and the AI attacks, and 0 days. We'll see all those things. And the third one is the real assessment. So we'll be taking one case study and we'll be doing the real risk assessment. Like you will be assessing like, okay, how much risk will be there in this particular scenario. So those kind of things we'll be doing. And these are some of the frameworks. Finally, we'll also see the frameworks. So this is the, so I have separated into three modules. As I said, one is like the basic concept of like what is the terminology the hackers or the security people speaks, and the second one the software vulnerability, and the third one is the real assessment and how they quantize it. Okay. So this is the module one. So in the module one, so we'll see from the basics, okay, from the scratch. So what does cybersecurity actually mean? Yeah, anyone?
Securing our digital assets.
Good, good. So when I asked this question to somebody outside, they said hacker. So you are a hacker. You know. So when I said I'm working as a cybersecurity, the first question you will ask is, can you hack somebody's Instagram account? That is because that is what I also experienced from many people. So that is the first question they will ask to me, and hopefully you also will get the same from somebody. But actually, what she said is correct. So securing any digital asset. So let's, as I said, if anything connected to the internet, right, it's actually not secure. So to make it secure, we need to take some steps. For example, I know some of the phones might have not given the phone pattern or lock itself because the usability, right? I want to make it easy. Okay, let's keep only the 4-digit password. Why don't I keep like 6-digit password? And many of them don't understand why we are taking 4-digit or 6-digit password. So that is where the cybersecurity comes. So apart from that, so when it comes to the IT world, right? So let me give some simple example. Okay, so you have your phone. Okay, you have a phone in your pocket. So you will make sure it's working, right? When you take the phone and when you want to call somebody, first of all you take the phone and you must know that it's working fine, right? Or it should have some charge at least. And the second thing what you notice is all my private data or photos it's safe, right? And we believe it's safe because we know that this is my phone. Nobody is going to come inside my phone, but yeah, it's safe, right? That is the second trust we have that in the phone. And the third one is, so whenever I get a call from somebody, let's say I am getting a call from my sister, I know, okay, sister is only calling, right? No, not as somebody is calling me. So those are trustworthy things. So these are some of the terminology we see in IT world. So that's where it comes to three things. So you might have already heard, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. As I said, the phone example, right? So whatever data you have inside, that is the confidentiality. And you believe your phone is not hacked, right? And nobody has the access to my phone, that is integrity. And finally, availability. My phone is in charge and it's 100%, it's not dead, so it's availability. So this is the simple example I can give you. But in the IT world, if you take it, you can see whenever there is a concern on the data, right? Confidentiality comes under the data. So let's say medical records, PII data, salary or customer details. So all this data comes under the confidentiality because that's our organization responsibility to keep it safe, right? That is why the confidentiality comes in. And the second one is the integrity. So integrity is something like we believe that is not changed. That is the integrity. I know my bank account is there, so I have, let's say, 1 rupee in my bank account, and it's not changed. Okay, that is the integrity. If somebody hacked and changed to $1 million, I'll be happy, right? But still, it's illegal. So we need to aware with our government rules and regulations, but still, that is the integrity which comes with something which is not changed, right? In transit or in rest or anywhere. And availability, of course, whenever you visit a site, you visit your college site, right? And it's available all the time. Let's say when you're checking your mark or the result, when it goes down, what happens? You will get frustrated, right? So that is where the availability comes. So these are the three important things. So everything security does to protect all these things in IT, right? So this is where security comes in. So this is very, very important topic. So when it comes to these three things, the security person must understand these three things. So the next comes the 5 words that unlocks everything. So we have this traditional example or classical example, okay? So let's say, so what is hazard? Anybody? Sorry? Valuable things. So what is valuable things? Your ID card. Valuable things. What if you forgot? Yeah, true. So that is the valuable thing. So as a classical example, I follow. Okay, very easy. Make sure I can also understand other problem. So let's say you have so your house. You have a house. Inside the house, you have 1 kg of gold, for example. So that is called asset, right? Your gold is your asset. So second is the threat. Let's say in that house you have very good locker, and you have the door also locked very well. And there is a man walking outside your house. Okay, so that is a threat. A man walking outside your house and seeing your house and spying on that, it's a threat because he can do anything. Let's say this threat, right? What if there is a hole in the your house or the open window in your house? Okay, so that is the vulnerability, because vulnerability is something is the weakness, right? So you have the weakness in your house, even though you are protected by the strong lock, still you have open window. So that is where the vulnerability comes. So threat is something somebody who walks in the nearby your house and spying on your house. Those are threats. And vulnerability is something the open window. And that is now comes the risk. Okay. Okay. Now tell me what is risk.
If the man enters to the open window, then he can do anything. He can get a lock.
Okay. Is it that? Okay. So let's say if he entered. Okay. So once he entered, I have my gold. It's a very safe locker. What is the case then? So risk is always calculated like likelihood into impact. Let's say, for example, your gold is in a locker, and even though this threat comes inside your vulnerability also, you will not able to take your gold, correct? Because it's very safe. So in the same way, let's say I have kept the gold near to the door, open window, near to the open window. Now what? Tell me. What is the risk? High. So now I mistakenly keep next to the door. What is the risk now? Very high. Correct? So risk will be keep on changing. So if it's inside, there is one risk. If it's now in between the window and that's one risk, and the next to the door, that is one risk. So basically, risk is equal to likelihood into impact. Likelihood is something like how easy the threat actor can find the gold. Okay, he is walking in the pathway. How easily he can able to find the gold. So that is the likelihood. And the impact is something where how much worth the gold is. Let's say you have 1 kg in your home of worth gold, right? It's high impact. Or you have only 1 gram of gold. You don't worry, right? Okay, no problem. I'll get it from my in-laws, no problem, right? So that is how the risk is calculated, likelihood into impact. I want you to remember this formula, maybe we will be using it in the risk assessment, okay? So hope you understand this concept. What is hazard, threat, vulnerability, risk, and so the final one is control. So control is something like, let's say tomorrow I am closing the window. So that is something like I have control over that, right? I am closing the gap or preventing the issue or fixing the issue. So that is the control or prevention. So these are the 5 terminology. It's very important in the vulnerability management or in the risk world. So as I said, I have given example in the basic real world example. Now when it comes to IT, right? What are considered as assert is like, for example, data. So data is very, very important, correct? So are you keeping your data safe? Yes. Okay. So Google doesn't know your data, correct? And AI doesn't know your data. And your apps are random apps are popping, right? So how that's happening? Cookies. So what is cookies? So yeah, basically your data is not safe. In order to keep it safe, you should shut down your computer and sit like a element. So yeah, that is assert. So in the IT world, we call it as data. Anything related to customer data, customer records, patients, files, PI data, anything related to data is considered as the assert. And assert can be anything which is more valuable. Let's say, so I'm a Apollo owner, okay. All my patient records are like, it's very important to me. It's very, very high priority. If it leaks, my reputation is gone, right? So that is where the basic reputation also stands inside the assert, right? And the system is something like, for example, anything. It could be TV, it could be laptop, it could be a hard disk, it could be a pen drive, anything. So those are also the system, but it could have the lower priority than the data. So each have each priority. So yeah, those are the asserts. So there is one terminology I wanted to know. Like, you need to know like crown jewels, not these jewels. So something very, very important. So in IT world or in corporate world, we call it as crown jewels. So let's say the assert is having the database or the anything, storing the sessions or anything, we call it as crown jewels. Okay. So threat, as I said, in the IT world, we call like criminals or basically threat, right? In that example, I have shown a guy walking outside the window, right? Outside the house. So, but in the real world, there could be a criminal, there could be hackers, insiders. So, insiders somewhere like, let's say I work in my organization, okay? But organization is not giving me hike. What I do? Put the paper and go to the next company, no, right? I want to take some vengeance on them, right? So, what I do? Not blackmail.
Ransom.
No, not blackmail. I'll be getting into the trouble. But let's say I'm not doing some malicious things. Like for example, I'm taking out some important data and selling it outside, right? So those are some of the insider threat we have in any organization. That is called insiders. And nature and accident also comes under this threat. For example, it could be somebody who's working. So let's say I have a broadband connection. This happens yesterday for me. So I have a broadband connection. What happened? There is a next door. There was a building construction happening. So this guys were working hard, I know. But what I did is like they also cut off my internet wire. So they are the threat, right? For me, because I am really scared. What they will do, right? So not only the in the IT world, but also in the real world, there are a lot of threats available. So likewise, in IT also it happens. And the vulnerability, as I said, a flaw in the software, it could be anything. For example, when I said flaw in the software, maybe I can, I don't know, like how many of them know Log4Shell incidents, right? Okay. So let's say there is a software. Maybe take any software. So any software name you can provide me? Microsoft Word, okay. So in that Word, let's say there is a weakness. That is what we call this as vulnerability, right? If that weakness is there in the Word, what it can do? Any hackers can able to hack it, correct? So that is where the vulnerability comes. So in order to find that vulnerability, there are a lot of tools is there. There are a lot of manual processes there. So that is where the risk management or the vulnerability management and the application security comes. And so those are vulnerabilities. I don't want to go inside deep there. And risk, as I said, just remember the formula likelihood to impact. So that's enough for right now. And control is something like preventing. In IT world, there are three things. One is preventive, detective, and corrective, right? Passive, active, same like when we prevent it, like for example, putting the MFA, patching, encryptions, those are which we are doing preventive actions, right? And the detective is something actively we do it, like logging, alerting, something like that. And corrective is something, what if it comes, right? What are the corrective measures I need to do? So those are backups, incident plans, cyber insurance, etc. So next comes the advisories. Like as I said, so who are hackers? They hack any systems, right? But there are different types of hackers. So that is where this comes, right? So anybody know any name, any few names you can give it? Black hat. Oh, okay. Black hat, white hat, grey hat. I am asking only the black hat. Forget the other thing. Only the black hat people. Yeah. I am asking. See, if you take any bad guy, okay, take a bad guy or name it as accused. So police name it as accused, but the accused could be anything, like a pickpocket, like a murderer, like a anything, like illegal drug smuggler, anything, right? So there are different categories inside the accused, one name, right? Same way, hacker, inside the hacker, there are different types of hackers are there. For example, the general cyber criminals, so their motto is to steal money. So their only motto is to get money and enjoy life. That is the only motto they have. So this cyber criminals could be anywhere. Like they can be a script kiddie. When I said script kiddie is like anybody using the malicious tool and hacking something. Their motto is to make money. So it can be anyone. So that is what the cyber criminals are categorized as. And the nation states. So the nation states are like, for example, they are not money motivated, but their motto is to get some juicy information, very valuable information. For example, let's say Russia and maybe we can take it at US and China. Okay, so the China is always trying to get information about US, and US is always trying to get information about the China. Because why? The market, their growth, they want to be the number one superpower in the world, right? So those people, what they do, the nation itself, the America or China itself, they will hire a hacker, they will sponsor the hacker, they will ask the hacker to hack the other countries. Informations like their power sector, the nuclear details, their electricity, so their White House, their federal. So anything they wanted more valuable information, their projects, what are the future projects they wanted to do it. So those things they will hack it for this purpose only. And these hackers are very, very talented hackers, and they are very, very difficult to crack it. So these people are sponsored by government itself, and very, they have 0 days. They have because buying 0 days or trading 0 days are very difficult. So these people have it. Have you heard about Israel? They have 0 day earlier in mobile. So WhatsApp they had a 0 day. Pegasus, have you heard it? So what is that? So they can hack any WhatsApp. Doesn't matter. You have anybody in the world, they can actually hack it. That is 0 day. So nobody knows what exactly the bug is. Only that guy knows it. So that is the 0 day. Okay. And what they do is they either sell it to the national states sponsored hackers, or there could be a state sponsored hacker itself found it. Okay. So either way. So that is a very, very high level of hackers. And the next one is activists. So activists, in order to give you an example, let's say there's a Pakistan and India. So what they do it? When there is a war, Pakistan people hack Indian website. So Indian people hack Pakistan website, right? So those are activists. So they have some motto or statement to make it. So that's their only goal, not to get money or anything, right? So that is the activist. Insider, as I said, insider is same. And the blur. So nowadays, actually, the modern, as I said, like the trends are changing. So the blur is a new concept where have you heard about franchising? KFC franchisee, McD franchisee. What they do? They have their product, they will give it to somebody, and they will run it, right? Same way, the blood people, what they do is actually they do this as a franchisee. So they create a ransomware as a service, and they if anybody wants to do some ransomware in any activity, so you can buy the ransomware malware and spread it to anybody. So that is where, but they will get the cut off whatever you are getting it. So that's the ransomware as services. So you will see what is ransomware if you don't understand it. Okay. So we'll go to the next one. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, right? So ransomware as a franchising, right? So what happens is like how they do it, right? So let's say many organizations you have heard, right? So it has been attacked by ransomware, and asking money. So first of all, what is ransomware? It's like digital kidnapping. Let's say I kidnap somebody and ask some money, right? So that is the same concept. So I hijack the company's data and ask money. So this is what the ransomware is called. Any questions? Okay. So how they actually operate is, for example, let's say I'm the actor. Okay. I wanted to hack. My motto is I want to hack some organization. So what I do is, so there are in the dark web.
The real-time example to happen in a website like
Sorry?
do you have now any other website like
No. We are not supposed to do like that. It's just the workshop today. I don't want to go into the jail. But what I'm saying is how they are doing it. I don't want to.
just show the example here. Actually, what are the procedures they are doing?
Yeah. But my topic is different now.
Sir, you are saying WhatsApp they hack now. How can we prevent?
So yeah, prevention. The slides are coming, so we'll talk about it. Okay. Yeah, please just ask questions.
I was attended a cybersecurity workshop and there was a person hacked. I don't want to mention the website. It's an official website actually.
Okay. They act and show.
Yes, hack and extract all the values and show.
Okay. No, we can do it, but problem is I'm not authorized to do it. So of course anybody can do it, but if you are authorized, so that is what.
He wrote only 4 lines. 4 lines. Only 4 lines.
4 links. Okay. Yeah. Nowadays we don't even have to write it, right? AI can do that. Yeah, ma'am. So basically this workshop is to educate people, not to motivate.
Actually, we must know both the pros and cons.
No, definitely.
Because we must teach the students what they have to do and they know
Yeah.
everything. They must have awareness.
So this is actually a basic workshop. If you want, we can, offline we can take it. So how this ransomware works is, let's say that is what I gave example. Right? I want to hack a company, okay, and I want to ransomware all the data and extract some money. So what I first thing I will do is I'll go to the dark web. I will check for this access brokers. There are access brokers where this access brokers are somebody who sells some stolen credentials. So this access brokers, so what they will do is they have all the stolen credentials from the dumps. So they could have stolen from many techniques. Okay. So I will get the stolen credentials from this access brokers. First, this is the first step. The next step is I will rent the kit, as I said, right? Ransomware is franchising. So I will rent the kit. So there are a lot of in dark web kits are available, ransomware as service. So next thing, I will break into the organization account. Once I get the H devices login or stolen credentials, I will break into the organization, and finally I will do the extraction. So anybody know what is double extraction in ransomware? What is double extraction? The last step. So basically, the ransomware job is to encrypt the data, right? So these people, let's say I encrypted data, I have the encrypted data. So if they give money, I will give the key and unlock that, right? So these people, what they do is So they will actually not only encrypt and keep the key, but also they will threaten the organization to leak the data. So let's say they have timer, okay. So basically, you see, they have 2 days or 3 days timer. So after that timer, automatically this all the data will be released into the public. So that is where, unless or until you, it's like a game, right? You want to stop that counter, or else automatically the data will be leaked publicly. So data, that is what double extortion. So you have to pay for the key and also for the data to prevent not to leak the data, right, on the online. So that is what double extortion. Sometimes what happens nowadays, even the ransomware people are not getting paid because you know why? You know what is the preventive measures they are doing it? The organization. It's very simple. Perfect. Who said that? Exactly. So always take a backups in multiple locations, not one or two backups. There are 2 to 3 backups. They will have it. So once you take a backup, like 1 hour delay or half an hour delay, the snapshot, right? So you don't have to pay the ransom, even though the system got encrypted. You can restore the data from the backup, right? So that's how nowadays people are moving towards the backup strategy in order to refuse to pay the ransom. So now comes the phishing. So yeah, phishing everybody knows, right? So what is phishing? Sorry. Fake email, fake message. Not only that, fake website.
Seems like legitimate.
Correct. It looks like legit website, but it's not actually a real website. So that is what it's called phishing. So people create a lookalike website. For example, let's say people create ICICI Bank lookalike website and send it to you the link, saying that you need to update your PAN card and you need to update your bank details. It's missing from the record. So the kind of strategy they will use it to send it to a link. And once you get the link, what you will think in the SMS, okay, I need to update, and you click the link and you go to the lookalike or the fake website and you will enter all the details. Once you enter and submit that form, it gets submitted to this server. So all the details are, he got it, that's it. So that is the phishing. So there are other techniques as well right now. Sometimes what happens in phishing nowadays, we have OTP, we have multi-factor, right? So what hackers are doing is they have something called MFA fatigue. So how many of them have this MFA in your Gmail or Outlook? So you get a notification, right? So you get approve or deny, correct? So let's say I keep on doing that for you are sleeping at 2 a.m. after party and I keep on doing it. What you will do? You will get irritated at one point and you will push the approve, right? Why it's asking again and again, you push it. So that is called MFA fatigue. So hackers will make you get irritated and make you to accept that. So that is called MFA fatigue. So the invoice scam, as I said, as I given the example, right? The PAN card, the invoice, you need to update immediately. So those kind of urgency messages, right? In 2 hours your bank account or your credit card will be deactivated. So you have to immediately update it. So those kind of urgency message, they do it in order to make you do it immediately or submit immediately without thinking, right? That is where the ethics falls. So the next. So now comes the AI, right? So the model 1, till now we see social engineering on the top, you can see, right? So module social engineering we have saw. Now the AI deception. So how many of them use, everybody use AI? Have you used AI for offensive thing? Anybody? Anybody created anything offensive? Just you can share, I won't tell you. No one. Why? You are cybersecurity. Who are cybersecurity department? Most of them. And you are trying to be, offensive. Only defensive people, right? Okay, you don't want to learn offensive. Okay,
I have used it for knowing like some basic
right? But you never tried it, right? Good. So let me give you one real story, okay? So what happened? There is a company called Arup in Hong Kong, okay? So actually I think it's a construction company. So in that construction company, what happened? An employee, a finance employee, got a mail, okay? Mail asking to join a call immediately. So that mail is from the CFO of that company, Chief Financial Officer of the company, okay? So the hacker sent a phishing mail first of all. So this guy got little suspicious. Okay, why don't I join the meeting and check it who the hacker, I mean, who the, whatever the person is. But I'm not a little skeptical about the mail. So what this finance officer did is he joined the meeting. So once you joined the meeting, you were surprised to see everybody was there in the meeting. For example, the CFO, their worker, his colleagues, everybody was there in the meeting. And he was forced to send some quick money to some of the bank accounts because of some urgency, or the stakeholders asking immediately to do something like that. So this guy only have that permission to send that or approve that money. Okay. So because of what he sees, all the person, the voice, everything is real. He sent almost 15 transactions. I think it's 2 million something. I think 25 million. Sorry. Yeah, 25 million. He have sent it in 15 transactions. This is the real thing happened. So he have sent it just because he see and trusted. Okay. And later only they come to know that everybody joined in the meeting was an AI deepfake. It's not even a real guy. Or everybody are the hackers only. So they spoof this guy, scam this guy, and he never knows that. Like after transaction, after some hours only, he came to know that this has been done by somebody else, not from the CFO. So see the thing. Even recently in June also there was some deep fake about Narendra Modi. Have you seen that? Right? Yeah, it has been circulating in Instagram. Instagram or something like that. So yeah, deep fakes are very dangerous in this era. So it's very it's very difficult to detect it. Even in Instagram, if you see, there are a lot of happens. So we have to be very careful. So apart from this deepfake, there is also a voice cloner. So have you used any voice cloner? Lemon Labs. Sorry. For what purpose you use? So, yeah, you want case study? Like, for example, no, that's what I'm discussing.
Case study means if any failure or any database and how they hack and what are the remedies to solve.
Okay. So that is what today this topic is basically in the modern threat landscape only. So that is what I have prepared it. But if you know, let me know. I can prepare it for the other. Yeah. I have a few use cases, but what you are asking is not there. For example, the prevention, the deep level of prevention, other things. But what exactly the method I can tell you.
If you are telling those concepts, the students and faculty members focus on the problem definition, they will attend any project expo.
Okay. Correct. But again, scope of this workshop is only for the modern threat landscape and the vulnerability in this. But I can do it. Maybe we can take another session also. So the deepfakes again is very one of the threat for us. Apart from that, there are other, as I said, a lot of other items we will be discussing, for example, 0 day and other things. But before that, let's quickly jump into this quiz. So can you please answer this quiz? Your VPN certificate expires in 2 hours. Click here to renew immediately or lose access. So we got a mail from the IT help desk. So whether it's phishing or looks legit, what do you think? Why phishing? Okay, perfect. Then
The weekends, usually you don't get notifications like that.
exactly. And finally, the email. Usually they don't have separate emails for IT and this. It should be a company email, right? So phishing. You can see whatever you told is correct. Agency, a domain that is in the company. Real IT teams don't email from the lookalike domains, and 2 hours or you lose access. So those are some of the jargons they use by the attackers. So the next one, your package couldn't be delivered, rescheduled here. So this is the SMS, okay? The first one is the email, second one is the SMS. Phishing. Why?
It doesn't have any company name or any short name.
Okay. So is this real? No, right? Yeah. So usually you don't get kind of short links. You either get like if it's Apple, you will have their own short URL. If it's Google or anybody, they have their own short URL. They won't give the external or third-party short URL. Yes, of course, it's phishing. And so can you tell this hi team quick reminder? The all hands move to 3 p.m. today. Room B. See you there. Perfect. Yeah, because there is no link and comes from the legit company. So yeah. Fourth one, phone call from Alex, IT support. Hi, this is Alex from IT. We are seeing suspicious activity on your account. I just need you to confirm your password so I can lock it down for you. Phishing. Why? It will never ask for you password. They will never ask you for password. Good. So the next threat. So far we have seen some AI, ransom, phishing, right? The next is supply chain. So what is supply chain attack? Nobody knows.
Companies supply to information expert.
Sorry?
Attacking the organizations supply.
Supply. What supply?
Supply attacking the important supply to
Yeah. What you said is partially correct. First of all, I'll give some example. Okay. So let's say previously attackers think I want to attack this organization. I want to hack this organization. Nowadays the thinking is moved. I want to hack all the organization. How that can be possible? That is how their thinking is. So let me start with a small example. Okay. I want to poison somebody. Okay. So what will do? I'll go there. I'll poison. And they drink, okay, and they die. So this is the one of the example. Let's say if I poison a milk factory, what will happen? Morning, everybody will die, correct? Could be thousands, it could be 10,000s. So that is the supply chain attack. So we are attacking the main supplier, and that's how it goes, right? So in IT world, what they will do is, let's say if I'm using this, okay, this browser. So this browser is from the Microsoft, okay, and inside this browser there are a lot of third-party add-ons I have created, right? So what if that add-ons get compromised? So that is called either third-party or dependency. So those are the something which we are using from the unknown vendor, from the different vendor. Okay, what if that vendor got compromised? Okay, and he spread the malware to all the people. So that is the supply chain attack. Okay, so they have some steps. So as I said about the milk factory, right? Similar way, the supplier falls. So they, the vendor code gets affected. That is the first. Then trust delivered. So we usually trust the third party, right? We install everything. For example, I said add-on. I never see install everything. So yeah, that inherited to the all the product I'm using it. So as real world cases, so there is three real world cases I can discuss. So one is Move It. I don't know if you have heard it. So it's a software again. So they have in 2023. So they have the SQL injection vulnerability. Because of that vulnerability, so Move It is a commercial software. So every organization or any company will be using it. So because of this software got hacked, all the organization who is using it are under attack. Similar way, the XZ utility. So this is one of the very good use cases I will discuss later. We have very detailed analysis of that. And the third one, Marks and Spencers and Co. So this is also recently I had. So again, this also I have a detailed case study. We'll discuss on later. Okay, on the supply chain topic. Okay, the next one is the AI powered attack. So far we've seen like ransom, phishing, and supply chain. Now is the AI powered attack. So you all know how AI is utilized, right? So for generating the payloads, for red teaming, for blue teaming, all this purpose the AI is useful. So not only that, have anybody used agentic AI? Autonomous AI, anybody used it to hack it? No, right? So what you can do is you give the job automatically that agentic AI, create a sub agents, let's say 40, 50 sub agents, and you can able to hack any companies. So that is what the AI powered attack right now we are doing it. If you want, I can give you some of the open source. And not only the AI have capability to hack somebody, but it also can be hacked by itself. For example, if AI is not properly maintained, or let's say the organization is using some AI tool, okay? So that AI tool is not properly maintained, then it's prone to prompt injections, shadow AI, those are the things which we discussed, right? So prompt injection, anybody know? I think most of them know what is prompt injection, correct? So any hidden instruction in email, so mistakenly read by the AI agent and it got executed. Instead of giving the normal text, they have some instructions for the agents hidden. For example, let's say I downloaded a document and I uploaded it to the So that is prompt injection. Yeah. So let's say I downloaded a document from online and I uploaded to ChatGPT or anything which I'm using it and ask that document to summarize it. Okay. So what happens? It will give the summarized version of that document, but let's say if there is a hidden instruction inside the document, it will get executed. For example, send an email to somebody or download this malware. So all this instruction can be executed by the AI itself, and it's very, very risky. So always just check for any hidden instructions in the document when you are uploading to your ChatGPT or anything. And I'll finish this one. And the next one is shadow AI. Shadow AI is something, let's say, employee is using a AI tool which is not approved. So there should be a governance first of all in order to use this. If that is not, that is called shadow AI. And the loose lips is something, let's say you all able to use a AI, right? From college or from your personal devices. So definitely you guys will always pay some important details to the AI. For example, your emails, your personal information, some passwords, so whatever, right? So those are called loose lips. So in organization also the same thing happens. So organization important details, official use details are being always placed by the employee, and that is what is called as loose lips. Agentic AI right now, that is the jargon, important jargon, right? So AI agents basically again nowadays let's say previously there's a single agents where you can actually give some specific instruction for that, but nowadays agentic AI is what I was saying, right? You give the goal and it automatically derives the sub agents by itself, like it actually manipulates itself or it creates itself and it able to complete the job. So those can be used to manipulate it by offensive purpose also. So that is the agentic AI, which is more dangerous. So all this has to be governed by the framework. So that is where the governance comes. Okay, as they said, like 10 minutes break. We can continue after 10 minutes. Okay. So இந்த டாபிக்ஸ் எல்லாமே கொஞ்சம் பொறியாக தான் இருக்கும், பட் இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ when it comes to ஆர்கனைசேஷன்னா நீங்கள் இந்த டேர்ம்ஸ் வந்து இதெல்லாம் கண்டிப்பாக தெரிஞ்சிடும். மேபி லைக் அஃபென்சிவ் ஹேக்கிங் இதெல்லாம் வந்து டெர்மினாலஜி நல்லா இருக்கும், பட் யூ வில் நாட் யூஸ் தட் இன் தி ஆர்கனைசேஷன். ஸோ எது அதிகமாக யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம்னு பார்த்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா இந்த சிவி, ஹேட்சிங், ஜீரோ டே. So these are the terms which we always use it. So I request you to learn this so that it will be helpful for your, your career, your growth, everything. So I'll complete this one. So I will spend like more time in Q&A. Is it okay? So if you have any questions, if you want, you can ask me. Okay? Like 20 or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, whichever you want it. Enough or no? 15, 20, 30. How much time you want to spend for Q&A? 20? Okay. Then I'll finish it as quick as possible. So 0 days. 0 days for the, I hope everybody knows, correct? 0 day na theriyuma. So let's say you are discovering one vulnerability today. Okay, today is the 0 day. Tomorrow is the first day, and day after tomorrow is the second day. So whatever you identify today is the 0 day. So other than terminology. So one thing about 0 day is like, for example, if I am identifying something very very critical, like remote code execution, something like that. So in that today, which is 0 day. Any organization will not have patch because that was identified by myself only. Unless or until I disclose it, they will not know, right? Or or I put it in the Twitter or somewhere in dark web, then only they come to know. So the detection problem is always there for 0 days. It's very very tough to handle by any organization. So that is where what happened if there is any 0 day, so they will try to analyze the pattern by reverse engineering it, and they will actually put some graph inside that. Let's say there is pattern of some strings in URL or strings in post request. That's where the graph comes. So we will create a rule, unrule, and we will prevent that from getting exploited in our edge devices or anything. So that is how we prevent the 0 day. And the patching days will also be very very difficult because after some days the patching will be released. Once the patch is released, it will be like a rush to keep patching because we know like there are a lot of systems who have been affected by the 0 day. So patching will be very difficult. Parallelly, the exploitation will also happen. So that is the challenges where any organization always face that. So quick quiz. Let's answer together. So the first one, road work starts outside your office. Digger drills the lot. Nothing has gone wrong yet. In risk language, the digger is a incident. Why?
There is nothing about risk or something weakness. Threat.
Why not threat? So a threat, let's say kind of people. I just told this example, right? The threat could be anything. The broadband example I have given you, right? So yeah, so it can be anything. So I'm afraid of somebody who's digging outside my home, right? He's a threat to me because what if he cut my internet wire, right? That is my threat. So the second question, what is now the first way attackers get their first foothold? Which one is easy? E. Correct. So extracting the unpatched vulnerability is very easy for attackers. Not just by using scanning. There are a lot of scanning tools, right? You can easily do it. Stolen credential will be one or two steps extra, and malware is definitely multiple steps involved. The final third question: true or false? Phishing is easier to spot because of threat. Okay. So the next module, so we'll try to quickly finish it. So how software actually breaks. So this one, I hope everybody is familiar with the application security, right? Most of them have done bug bounties, AppSec, right? So the same thing. I think since most of them are aware of this, I'm going to ask you one question. Let's see who answers. Okay. So in this 5 phase, which phase is dangerous? So just read it. Is this? Why? Anybody from boys side? Found. Found. Actually, patch is the correct answer. Because, let's say, I identified a vulnerability and it got CV assigned, okay? So, after CV assigned, nobody knows it because I found it. That vulnerability only myself know and nobody knows it. Unless or until the company released the patch, where the patch is like something like, okay, this is the place where this flaw happens and this is where I'm going to patch it. That is what we call patch, right? So this patch, once released by the vendor, the attacker, what they will do, they will reverse engineering this patch and knows exactly where that specific vulnerability is, and he will write a exploit for that. So that is where the exploit releases. So once in the patch stage, hackers also release the exploit, okay, publicly. Once publicly the exploit is released, it will be like exploit in a while we'll say, right? So all this, small people will use this exploit to hack any websites. So because those websites might not be patched, they would have no patch might have released today, right? But the organization will not patch it today, right? They will take some time, right? Because they have a lot of priorities, they have a lot of works, maybe the resource constraints, there are a lot of items there, right? But they would have not patched it. So that is where the exploit comes, right? So patch is the very, very dangerous stage in this. And finally, exploited. So exploited is something, as I said, once the exploit is released by the hacker or anybody, they will be exploited. So this is all about the software bugs, and this one you know, right, was top 10. Everybody would have heard about it. So we are not going to discuss all this then. So the first thing, so previously 2021 and 2025 you see few changes happened. So you know, in this recent 2025 there is something called software supply chain failure. They added UE because they added UE. Okay. So because as I said, there are a lot of supply chain attacks are moving. That is where even the watch top 10 have added this one in their list. So WASP is something, it's a non-profit organization. So they categorize all the attacks or all the common attacks into categories. That is what this community do it. It's a non-profit community. So it's very easy for anybody to categorize it. You know meter, right? Better. So same way WASP we have it. So they categorize it where we can actually categorize to for the organization will be easy for reporting and other purposes. So yeah, these are some of the top flaws. I don't want to get deeper and keep going you. As I said, 20 minutes will allocate for the Q&A. But yeah, so on this thing, it's very important, right? So all this was top 10 and other things are related to the software bug or application bug, right? So how they are assigned this where the CVE comes. So CVE is something common vulnerability exposure. Let's say, as I said, if you are discovering some issues in the software or application or system, they will give you ID. Okay, that is what we call as a CVE ID. So I hope a lot of people should be encouraged to do this. So if you have time, try to identify more CVEs. If you get CVE in your name, organization will definitely prioritize you in interview. So this is one of the important thing we are also looking. So whenever there is a person comes with a lot of CVE, they have identified, we immediately hire them. So but identifying CVE is not simple. You need a lot of patience, you need to analyze, you need to do reverse engineering the application. When I said CVE, I don't mean like the XSS or cross-exploitive. There are a lot of different bugs out there. Not only in the dynamic application, but also in the secure coding as well. You can actually get a CVE. So anybody contribute GitHub contribution people there for the open source? Anybody? Nobody contributed anything. So to explain about CVE, CSV. So basically, CVE is, as I said, it's an ID. This is a simple ID with a year and some random numbers. So it keeps incrementing. Whenever one person finds it, another person finds it, it will increment it like the numbers. But it's a unique number for the unique vulnerability you find it. Okay. And CVSS score is something like severity score. Let's say you found a remote code execution, or you found a medium vulnerability. For that, they will give some values for that in the range of 0 to 10. Sorry?
Based on the impact.
Correct. Yeah. Based on the actually for the severity, right? Let's say so this CVSS score comes in a lot of parameter. But basically its main thing is the severity. With respect to the severity, so we will see how we do that metrics, right? So here is likelihood and impact. So not only the impact, there are other factors also. So we will see we are in the next page. We have that how we rate the CVSS score. Okay. first you understand the terminology. EPSS is something like so how likely to be exploited in 30 days, right? So it's a exploit prediction scoring system. So let's say you found a vulnerability, but it have the exploit in a while, and in next 30 days there is a lot of likelihood that it could be exploited. Okay, so that is where the EPSS score comes. So always first, okay, maybe the next one also I will explain it. So CISA KEV, which is known as known exploit vulnerability, which is assigned by the cybersecurity infrastructure security agency. You know CERT in India, you know CERT, right? CERT. So similar to this CERT, we have the CISA. So they will actually assign like which are the highest priority vulnerability. So for example, there are let's say if there is a very critical vulnerability comes, right? They will know, okay, these are the very important vulnerability you need to focus. So as an organization, what we will do is we will first focus on the whatever the CISA key releases. So this is our first focus. So when they mention it, this is very important, we will focus on that only. Then only we will go to the EPSS. So if the EPSS score is high, then we will focus on that. So from down to top we will go. So that is how the organization focus on any specific vulnerability. So because in a day there are thousands of vulnerability releases, like thousands of CD we get releases. How we prioritize is very, very important. We will not prioritize everything. If we prioritize according to the CISA value, EPSS value, and the assert value, then only we will actually decide whether we need to patch that particular vulnerability or not. That's how the priority goes, okay? So these are simple use cases. I'll skip this. Misconfiguration. As you know, like misconfiguration is nothing but like it could be anything like simple admin password, and in the cloud misconfiguration where the cloud bucket changes from keeps to public. So right, public, have you used bucket, S3 buckets, Amazon buckets, Azure blobs. So these are some storage materials. You can store the data in that. Let's say if that specific storage changes the permission level to public, then everybody can able to visit that particular bucket. So those are some of the misconfiguration. So misconfiguration is not exactly a vulnerability. It's a different kind of structure. So as everybody are familiar with the WASP, let's quickly go to this rapid fire question. Yeah, perfect. Misconfiguration. Changing invoice 123452 123456. Right. Typing or municipal body. SQL injection or injection. A popular open source package, your bill depends on case size act. What? Which one is this?
Software supply chain.
Yeah. All correct. Okay, so on the case study, I wanted to discuss only the important one. So all these are related to the. So you can see on the case study at the top, right? So each case study technique. So each case study have each compromise have each technique. For example, this change healthcare, which is one of the healthcare related payment processing. So back in 2024, what happened? So because of the stolen credentials, so you need to first understand what is the initial access for the attacker. Okay, because of the stolen credentials, they were able to go inside the organization. So MFA was not present in that. Okay, you can see all the lesson learned from here. So what could have been prevented this attack? Okay, so initial access, we will see only the initial access. Okay. And after that, once they went into the organization, so they were do all this recurrence thing. They deploy the ransomware and encrypt all those things and request the money. Okay, all these are happening all the cases, but we will see only the initial access. So initial access for this is what? What is the initial access for this? Stolen credentials. They are reusing the stolen credential to get the access for this. And this attack happens in 2025. So what happened in this is this is like a phone call. As I said, this MFA fatigue, right? So what happened? So this is not MFA fatigue. Actually, this is password reset. Okay. So usually in previous little years before, when you wanted to reset a password of your account, what they will do, they will call your IT employee and they will ask you to do it. But nowadays there are a lot of other way of method came by resetting the password, like OTP and other things. But previously they were used to, but some companies are following like this. Attackers phone the third party IT help desk impersonating staff and talk their way into resetting the password. So this is the initial vector for this case. So yeah, you can see like still some of the organization are using the legacy technique or legacy method. This is not even a vulnerability. It's like a human mistake, right? So he called the IT employee and asked to reset password. So this is the initial vector for this attack, and this is where very important. So this is basically a supply chain attack. So have you heard about this sexy news? Nobody. Okay. So what happened is so XE is a library. It's a zip. Have you used zip, right? Or app zip, gun zip. How many use Linux? In Linux, something called tar. So those kind of zipping technology uses this libraries, okay? Like zipping libraries we call it as. So in this library, so this is actually open source library. So what happened is there was a so in open source what they do is there will be a contributor, so who will not get paid, but they will contribute to these open sources and they will develop a product. And this product can be, if it's good, reliable, what we can do is we can actually apply for the Linux. There are a lot of, for example, you have used Kali Linux, right? There are a lot of tools inside that. All these are open source, right? For example, Nmap. There are Nikito, SQL injection, SQL map. So those are like open source tools, right? So this Kali Linux have adapted these tools, okay? So before getting adapted these tools, they will verify it, they will test it, all those things. So likewise, so this easy tools, they wanted to apply for the Linux. They wanted to put it in the Linux distro. When I mean Linux, just like Kali Linux, there is a Linux distro or Debian distro. So they wanted to put it in that. So what happened? This initial contributor, whose name is called Corin. So because he went, not that much, right? I mean, not that much active in their contribution. There are a few other, because he is the one who maintains this package, okay? So there are other sub coordinates or sub moderators who keep on pushing up, like he's not doing this properly. You need to step down from your moderator, or you need to step down from your open source contribution. So there are a lot of people waiting to contribute. So like this, a lot of other people told, and this guy, what happened? He gave opportunity to one guy called Jintan, okay, Jitan. So this guy is a very legit guy. So he was contributing for 2 years, patiently, all this patches, all this. So he made this tool very, very secure, very nicely. At one point, after 2 years, what he did is he pushed a malicious code. So this guy pushed a malicious code in this XC. So he waited 2 years patiently, acting like a very nice guy. And after that, he pushed a malicious code to this, and he submitted to the Linux. So after submitting to the Linux, so what happened? This particular Linux distro was tested by a Microsoft employee. Okay. So this employee is not a security guy. He's basically a system administrator. So he saw something very suspicious. For example, so he just found this SSH, right? You do the SSH in the Kali Linux or anything, right? In that SSH, there was a 500 milliseconds delay. So he was little suspicious why is 500 millisecond delay happening every time only in this distro, I mean not any other distro. So he reverse engineering found that there was a malicious packages, and that's how this supply chain attack being stopped. It's not even went lively in the testing phase itself. It's been stopped. But when they do what happened, the full story, then only we come to know they waited 2 years to execute this plan. So the supply chain is something like they can wait a number of years to do this something very broad and something which is very drastic. So that is the case study we need to understand it. And so as I said on the fix, so you will not able to fix every vulnerability you found in your organization, because there will be thousands of assets in your organization. There will be more than 10,000 or lakh like CD you will get it in a day. So how to prioritize it? So that is where the proper the one which I told you, right? The prioritization strategy is something like which differs from the qualitative and quantitative. So most of the time we do this qualitative only, like I said, severity basis, like high, medium, low, right? And quantitative is more of like business level. For example, the particular asset is costing this much, right? So what happens if annual loss expectancy happens? Let's say if I'm losing this asset, how much loss I need to take for a year? So those kind of bigger calculation will be done by the business. But most of the time we used to do this qualitative only. And this is where the likelihood and in fact the risk matrix comes, right? So as I said, the risk formula, right? How we will calculate the risk. So this is the exact way we can do it. In case if you have your laptop, you can actually do it. See, for example, in the x-axis, right? In the x-axis, you can see this is the likelihood. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the y-axis, you can see impact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and this is like matrix you have done, right? Like for example, so x and y. So x and y, right? 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. So this is 9. This is of x and y. So this is how this matrix forms. But how to calculate this? Like let's say we'll take for this example, okay? Code this out loud, okay? An unencrypted work laptop holding the full customer database gets left in taxi. So let's say I have the laptop and the laptop is not encrypted and they have very important data in my laptop and I forgot in my taxi. So what is the likelihood and what is the impact? What could be it? So my data is not encrypted and I forgot my laptop in my taxi. So likelihood, will I forget again? No, right? Likelihood is very less. So what we can put it? Something, but still it's happened, right? And the impact, customer database, other things, it's very high. Maybe I'll put 5. So what I get it? Critical. 3 and 5, which is somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. So this red dot or the red things are called as critical. This orange or medium oranges are medium, and the green ones are low. So you can see the range, right? You can see 1 to 4 low, 5 to 9 medium, and 10 to 14 high, and 15 to 25 critical. So now 3 into 5, 15, which is critical. Expected range. L is 3 to 4. L is nothing but likelihood, and I is nothing but impact, 4 to 5. Yeah, almost it matched. So similar way, we can also do the assessment. So there are a few cases I have. So this, apart from that, we have something called the risk thing, right? Like you need to understand this treatment plan. So for example, not only risk and likelihood, but also this treatment. Let's say I'm taking a risk, but what is the treatment I'm going to give it, right? Let's say avoid. Let's say there is asset, but I'm going to throw it away that asset. So that is where the avoid comes, right? Stop doing the risky things, retire the system. Let's say I'm retiring the computer. If there is a data and somebody reported there is a risky data in your laptop, but anyway the next month I'm going to throw that laptop, right? Then I put avoid. Retiring the system. Reduce is something we add a control. So let's say if there is a risk, but I'm adding a control over that. Like let's say if there is an open window, I'm adding a lock or grill between that window. That is the reduce. transfer, share the loss. So transfer means I'm transferring my loss to somebody else. That is where insurance comes, third party vendor contract. So those are transfer. And finally accept. I'm accepting the risk. It's okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm accepting the risk is final. So these are some of the treatment plan. We'll see we have this assessment. So you can actually, if you open this, we can actually go to this assessment. So here we have this assessment. If you go to this risk score, so we have this assessment. Maybe we'll play here itself. So this one again we already did it. This is 4, 4, 4, 5. And here the laptop, right? Can you tell what is the treatment here? Can we put avoid or accept or transfer or reduce? So let's say I forgot the customer laptop. I forgot the laptop which is having the customer database. So what we can have done is like we can actually reduce it, right? So what it reduce means we have doing some controls. For example, full disk encryptions could have been done so that the impact would be low, right? Drop the impact to the next. So yeah, but still it's critical. So, but we would have applied this reduced treatment before that. Postpone patches. Your internet-facing VPN appliance has critical vulnerability that appears on CISA key list. Confirm exploit in a while. The next maintenance window is in 60 days. So what is the likelihood of impact? Impact 5. Treatment? So what is VPN? So is it something which is used in internal organization or the edge of the organization? Edge of the organization, correct? So what if there is a critical vulnerability in the edge of that VPN itself? Right? It's high rate, very high. We could have reduced by doing some things. For example, emergency changes, patch now. How can you reduce it? This critical vulnerability. So once if there is a patch available, we can immediately patch it. If there is no patch available, we could have analyzed the pattern and put it on the WAF and to reduce the impact. So those are some of the mitigation controls you can actually apply. So yeah, so these are some of the you can actually practice. You have this website, so you can go check and practice it. Let me try to finish it. So we have 4 more minutes. So where I left. Okay, I completed this case study, risk assessment we just completed, right? 5 experiment matrix, and the framework we are right now. So it's just 40. Okay, so this is playbook. So for example, so whatever the risk we are identifying, right? So there are a lot of controls over there, and there are playbook, there are frameworks where we can apply it. So in this framework, so National Institute of Standard Technology framework, RMF means a risk. So it's I think a risk framework.
Risk management.
Yeah, risk management framework. So this is basically more related to the IT related framework, and ISO is something, ISO 27005 is something related to the IT security. So this is the difference between this both. If people are interested in compliance audit, then you can definitely need to study these controls. There are different controls and the steps, how to analyze and how to identify. You can go through it. But just remember this framework alone. So now, yeah, these are assessment. I think we already assessed plenty of them. Yeah, I think all this are covered already. Yeah, some of the resources if you want to follow, I just mentioned it. Maybe yeah, we can start the Q&A. So as you requested, yeah, I'm open for questions. So we have 30 minutes or 35 minutes more. So anything you need, you can ask me related to the organization, what you expect. For example, after you coming, after you finishing, what would be the, the environment, your work, your career, so what else you can do it apart from, So inside cybersecurity itself, there are a lot of domain. You all know, right? Have you heard about threat intelligence? So there is one domain called threat intelligence in our organization, in your organization. Now, please take I'm sort there. You have a faster exam. You don't want questions. Okay, then I will ask the questions.
I asked WhatsApp how we can prevent
WhatsApp? Sorry, ma'am.
anybody hacks. How we can prevent.
For vulnerability wise, you are asking or like see, there are two things. Like for example, in general, see in general, let's say you are receiving some malicious link of your now. So you are clicking that. Let's say you have the Android phone, right? So what people do is like once you click that, they will ask you to install something. For example, I don't know whether you have received IT training from you need to install this fix in your something like the bank booking install. So if you install that, it will ask a lot of permission in order to Apple request you. So if you give all this permission, that's it. Take all these things. So in the money, on the WhatsApp level, the data even though if it's encrypted also. இல்லை அதுதான் அது நம்ம பண்ண முடியாது. அது நீங்கள் ஆல்ரெடி ஏதாவது பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா அப்ளிகேஷன் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்கன்னா ஃபஸ்ட்டு டெலீட் பண்ணணும். இல்லை மோஸ்ட்லி அந்த இப்போ நீங்கள் நீங்கள் அது விசிபிளாக இருந்து அதை நீங்கள் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணிங்கன்னா பிரச்சனை இல்லை. பட் இப்போ வரதில் அப்படின்னா ஹிடனாக கூட இருக்கும், சர்வீஸாக இருந்தால். இப்போது நீங்கள் அப்ளிகேஷன் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா அது அப்ளிகேஷனாக இருந்தால் சிலதெல்லாம் வந்து சர்வீஸாக இருந்தால் ஸோ அந்த சர்வீஸாக இருந்தாலும் நம்ம கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாது. அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம், இது ஆக்டிவ் வைரஸ்னால் கொஞ்சம் சிலர் தான் அதை டிடெக்ட் பண்ணுது. அந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் போட்டுடலாம். இல்லை நீங்கள் ஆல்ரெடி செக்யூரிட்டி